I wonder what the meeting room was like when they were designing this boss. I feel like it went something along the lines of, let's combine Sif, the Iron Boars from Duke's Archives, Nachka, and give him gravity magic, and then make him do a lot of damage. At least they were nice with the side of grace on this one. Every boss has its own flair, and there are unique outliers that don't really fall into a category. But if you break them down into their base movesets, there seems to be two different families when it comes to the quadruped bosses. First being Sif. Sif's moveset is up there with Asylum Demon as far as reuse goes, and it makes sense. In my opinion, Sif is the third best designed boss in the first Souls game. The only ones that beat him are Artorias and the Sanctuary Guardian, both of which were DLC bosses that took on a more aggressive design philosophy than the base game. Red Wolf from Elden Ring, Royal Rat Authority from Dark Souls 2, Vort and Osiris from Dark Souls 3, and Dark Beast Parl from Bloodborne all seem to be evolutions of Sif's moveset. The second category is where this boss falls into, the aforementioned Sanctuary Guardian. These highly mobile bosses seem to move more like the Iron Boars in Duke's Archives, and while the Sif-type bosses typically have a pretty large blind spot underneath them, these guys will punish you greatly for standing there, if you can even manage to get there in the first place. Ava from Dark Souls 2 is probably the best iteration of this boss type in my opinion, but the Ancestor Spirit is a more recent example. I prefer melee builds in these games, so my ranking of this boss is pretty low, despite him being rather unique. He doesn't stay anywhere for very long, and he likes to jump all over the place and throw fairy dust around. His arena is huge, and he's also one of the few bosses that can heal himself. None of his attacks are all that difficult to deal with, so this just kind of prolongs an already mechanically boring fight. This fight encapsulates something I think FromSoft struggles with. Or maybe it's intentional, it's not quite clear with the devs. That being, the more cinematic or visually appealing a boss is, the easier it typically is. Moonlight Butterfly from the first game, the Old Iron King from the second, High Lord Wolnir from the third. All of them are amazing looking fights, including this one, but none of them are too terribly difficult to deal with.